Hi all, Nicole Lang here, and I have got another super important holistic fertility topic that I just know is going to make your load a little lighter. I'm talking about sadness and grief and all the other hard feelings that come up when you get another negative test or your period again. This is the reality check period grief video. Before we start, please take a minute and subscribe to this channel. I so appreciate your support. Now in this video, I'm going to break down these things. Feelings of quote-unquote failure, facing hard emotions, and why it's helpful for you and your pregnancy odds to face them. And then we'll talk about a time of the month tool I want you to try. Let's jump in. The crappy thing about infertility as a whole is you have so many hard emotions in way more places than infertility outsiders could even imagine. There's jealousy, anger, frustration, fear, resentment, loneliness, confusion, overwhelm, anxiety. All of these things are happening off and on all month long for a billion different legitimate reasons. Even the same exact emotion might come up for 5 different reasons at 5 different times in one single month. Now, the grief that comes with a period is probably the only feeling that outside people think about even a little bit, and even then, they kind of get it wrong and don't get it. The grief that comes with a negative test or the start of a period, especially as you get further and further into trying, is particularly gutting. It feels totally powerless, and it often brings on full-on despair. It's a real grief, but an especially unique kind of grief. First, it's pretty much invisible to everybody else on the outside. Second, it's a type of grief not for what was, but for what could have been. And third, it's both something raw and new and perpetually refreshed and cumulatively made worse and worse with time. To make it even trickier, it's also mixed into teases and glimmers of hope, which almost makes it feel like a classic abusive relationship. A whole lot of really rotten, terrible stuff with just enough good to keep you holding on. Let me say it as clearly as I possibly can. Having hard emotions doesn't hurt or jinx your chance of getting pregnant. In fact, it's not having these feelings and instead chasing positivity or pretending that they're not there and that you're fine that hurts your body and lowers your pregnancy odds. Research proves bodies show way more signs of feeling threatened and stressed when we keep our feelings in and pushed down. We can see it when we measure heart rate and rhythm and breathing rates. We can see it when we watch the areas of the brain that are lighting up on scans. We can even see it in how our wounds heal and how often we get sick and how long it takes us to feel better. Keeping in emotions stresses our bodies out. And if you want to explore more around the science of why being in threatened mode like this isn't good specifically for your fertility, you should watch my stress and infertility video next. Now, once you've given yourself permission to fully feel what you're feeling because you know that that is healthy, I encourage you to not only feel it, but to outwardly express it and get it out. So find a fertility friend or friends, post in the community section if you're a member of the Baby You Want program, sign up for my Baby You Want member coaching sessions to chat with me, find a Resolve or some other local or virtual support group, even if they're not perfect, and they never are. Spending time with others and groups who can relate to infertility is priceless. Now, of course, there are plenty of other ways to safely express your feelings without fertility friends or groups too. You should do as many different variations and layers and types of emotional expression as you can. So journal, find a really good therapist, give yourself permission to have a good cry. I've got so many exercises and ways to do these sorts of things in the Baby You Want program's many exercises and handouts. I want you to get your feelings out. Not because it makes your feelings go away or it magically fixes anything, but because it's like a pressure valve that's being released and it changes something in your body that is actually in your control. As I mentioned, there are so many different nuanced, hard feelings in specific situations throughout an entire menstrual cycle when it comes to infertility. Not to mention when you start adding hormonal fluctuations and the feelings that they bring. In my full 90-day program, I take you through things like making decisions when you and your partner are on totally different pages, how to say no to baby showers and celebrations while still protecting important relationships, what to do if your doctor misses the boat on your humanity and treats you like a walking statistic, and so many other situations. You can and you should have many specific ideas and tools that support all of you in many different nuanced situations. So today, I want to share one specific tool that I want you to use for the specific situation that is when you get your period or get that negative test. And the tool is creating an end of cycle ritual. Many cultures have period rituals, but in most of the modern Western world, we just start to bleed and then keep on going about our lives as if nothing is happening. Even when we have physical stuff like heavy flow and cramps and fatigue from blood loss, we just carry on. And this is terrible for people who have periods, especially if the period is also bringing real grief. You might not be able to miss work every month, or maybe you can. Think about it. But somehow, somewhere in your day or night, I want you to hit pause and not keep going. Light a tea light candle and commit to doing whatever you want for the entire time that it burns. The flame itself can symbolize both loss and hope. Take a shower or a bath to ease your body and your brain. And don't just make it a regular bath, make it intentional. Use some aromatherapy or music or guided meditation, or have a good cry while you're in there. Do some really mellow, stretchy yin yoga, or go for a walk and take some deep breaths while feeling your body move. Watch some of my acupressure videos and come up with a self-care routine that eases your cramps and tends to your grief and your fear. I'm going to make some specific suggestions in the video description below. These are just jumping off ideas. Find what feels right for you. And if you're struggling with why your cycle didn't work and you're starting to think about what you need to do different next month, take some time and watch my Why Cycles Fail video. I know it's going to give you some clarity and peace and help you from spiraling into self-blame and shame. The main thing is, don't keep going. Pausing is healthy, and self-care rituals can help your mental health and your pregnancy outcomes and odds too. Here's what we just covered. Feelings of quote-unquote failure. There are a lot, including a particularly brutal form of grief. Facing hard emotions. Now you know expressing feelings helps your body feel less threatened, which is good. And a time of the month tool. Make a ritual and don't just keep going like nothing is happening. Having a baby, even with high-tech treatments, is only something that we get to control at a certain level. When you protect your overall wellness and your whole life, those choices bump into the parts of fertility that you can actually control. And it does make everything better, even your odds. Let me know what kind of period ritual you try. Let me know how it goes in the comments below. As always, I'm out in the world cheering you on, and thanks so much for pressing play. It's great when I say the totally wrong words. It's like I'm illiterate. I'll piece it together. It felt solid. It felt like not, I didn't do the dead shark eye, where it's like,